Hey everybody, welcome back to Big Red EDC. Oh, today we're going to be taking a look at another pass around knife. And I tell you what guys, it's no holds barred, man. It is a pretty sweet knife. We're going to be taking a look at the Kizer Odin today. Now it was provided by Kizer to the pass around group. So, might be the best one out there ever made. They could have handpicked it. I doubt it, but you never know. But I tell you what, this is definitely a sweet knife, and I'm going to show you just why I think so. But first off, let me tell you that now I know I'm going to butcher this name, but I have to at least try to give the designer credit. It is designed by Yvonne Braganet, and I know I probably butchered that, and if I did, I am very sorry. But let's zoom out here. I will take a look at this knife. Now, as you can see there, you've got pretty much full titanium construction on the handle with some nice, heavily textured carbon fiber inlays. You do have a titanium backspacer on it with kind of a couple of sets of, you have options on where to put your lanyard if you want it. So that's kind of cool. Milled titanium pocket clip. Now you do have stainless hardware in this one. The Odin's got a 5-inch handle length on it. And then when I measure about right about a 4-inch grip length. So that's pretty much how it looks in my 3 3/4 inch hand. And yep, I'm pretty much going to say that every single time, just to give somebody context. Somebody new to the channel. Got to explain things to them. You know how it is. But yeah, I easily get a full 4-finger grip on it and have plenty of room left over. Now the Odin, it is a flipper. You've got flipper tab there, a little bit of jimping on it, not a lot. Just enough though. It does the job. It is running on bearings, of course. And it is a frame lock. Steel insert over travel stop. But no, there I couldn't do it. Oh, and I couldn't do it again. Now you can. There it is. Trust me, I'm not the best one to try to Spidey flick any knife, even a Spyderco. But I can Spidey flick this one. This one and the Nock knives. Those are the only two knives that I can Spidey flick. I don't know why, but hey, you can, and I just showed you can. So that makes me pretty happy. Once you got the blade out there, you can see there you got a 4-inch S35 VN drop point blade. That's kind of they call it drop point. I kind of see, it's a modified drop point. I think it's really cool because it kind of reminds me of like a raptor, a bird of prey, something like that. That's kind of what that blade reminds me of. I think it's pretty cool. You got an awesome stonewashed finish on that. I am really, I'm getting way ahead of myself. I'm telling you, I'm giving you my take when I'm supposed to be giving you specs, but I don't care. I really like the stonewash on that blade. There you go. You got your Kizer logo. You got your model number and some S35 VN action. Maker's mark. And then there's his name. Yvonne Braganet. Man, I hope I'm saying that right. And then you've got Odin kind of out there all by itself. A little odd. But it lets you know you've got an Odin. So there it is. 4 1/8 inch cutting edge. Now, I did say it was a 4-inch blade, didn't I? Well, if it's a 4-inch blade, how can it have a 4 1/8 inch cutting edge? I'll show you. Now, when I measure my blade, you measure tip to handle, right? Well, as you can see there, that cutting edge actually extends past where the handle is. So that's how you get a 4 1/8 inch cutting edge out of a 4-inch blade. It's magic. 9 inches, fully open. Good size knife. Now, Kizer knife, made in China. Let's get a weight and some measurements on this guy. We'll sit her down, we'll get our scale. Close it up. All right, we're gonna start in ounces. 4.6 ounces, not too bad. 130 grams. Really, 4.6 ounces for a knife, for a 9-inch knife with an over 4-inch, a 4-inch blade with a 4 1/8 inch cutting edge. That's 4.6 isn't a bad weight at all, really. Thickness, just over that 1/2 inch mark as I measure it. And width, we're gonna go right there because that's kind of what appears to be pretty much the widest point of the knife. And we're gonna look at about 1.32. Yeah, 1.32. Now, let's take a look at our pocket clip. See how it's gonna ride in our pocket. So there you go. That's what we're gonna have exposed. Looks like we're pretty much standard there with that 1/2 inch of exposure. Yep, pretty much. So, not too bad. Like I said, pretty much standard. Now, in and out of pocket. In and out of pocket, it was really weird. The first couple of days I was carrying this, and I'm really trying to, I don't know if it's going to be really hard to focus on that. But the first day I was carrying it, I found that it was difficulty. I had difficulty going in and out of my pocket. And then a couple more days, and it was fine. Well, what I realized is the first couple of days I was wearing it, my jeans were they've already had that, the pocket was pre-frayed, let's put it like that. The pockets were well worn. And the next days they weren't, it was pretty fresh pockets. And now it has a tendency, let's see, I'm trying to focus on that for you. See how that carbon fiber, the texturing in that carbon fiber, it meets right at the edge of that pocket clip. So the pocket clip isn't necessarily bearing down on the carbon fiber, but it's right on the edge. So it is still kind of pushing that material. So sometimes it is and sometimes it isn't. That's the best way I can get it. If you have worn pockets, it might be a little bit more difficult going in and out of pocket. But if you have good, fresh, seams on your pockets, then it really wasn't too bad at all. As far as the carried phenomenally. Tucks right in the corner of your pocket. No problem. Stays out of the way. Absolutely great carry on this knife. Now my overall take. Guys, this knife is so smooth. The action on this knife is absolutely phenomenal. There's no shake at all. Gravity is doing all the work. I mean, yeah. The action is so well dialed in that the detent's pretty good. Probably could be, if you try to fail it, yeah, that was close, but it still came open. Yeah, the detent's pretty darn good. It maybe could be a little stiffer, but with that action, yeah, whatever. That action is absolutely phenomenal. Man. We already talked about the blade a little bit. I absolutely love the profile of the blade. Like I said, it reminds me of a raptor head. Just looks so cool. I'm digging it pretty hard, along with the stonewash. The stonewash one of the better stone washes I've seen on a blade. It just, if you don't like stone washes, well, you're probably not going to like it. But I do, and I do. For sure. Absolutely. Edge goes pretty much almost all the way back to the plunge grind. Now you do have some jimping up here. I find the jimping, I mean, my thumb pretty much just slides right over it. So, and as you can see there, it's a little, you've got the valley going down the middle of the jimping, whether that has any effect on it or not. But the jimping is pretty square. Not sharp, not square as in sharp at all. But it just, you know, my thumb pretty much slides over. Now, if I place my thumb there and get a good solid grip, would it need jimping? I don't even think it would, because it locks into my hand pretty solid. One of the things I was concerned about is, you know, all this texturing, a lot of texturing on that carbon fiber, not even an issue. Not even remotely. I have an issue with my fingers sometimes, just my fingertips. I don't know what it is, but on that type of material, it just, I don't know, it makes my fingertips feel funny. It makes them tingle or whatever. I have no idea what causes that. But no, not an issue on this one. Feels absolutely terrific in hand. That pocket clip, not even remotely a problem. It's, yeah, it's good. Grip is phenomenal. And it was funny. I've talked to my buddy Stuart here recently. And he's like, you know what? I don't think you're a knife reviewer. He's like, I think you're a professional hand model. Because it seems like all these knives are made for your hand. And, you know, this one's a little bit bigger. He's right. It seems like most of these knives that I've been reviewing are basically made for my size hand. Which, I don't have an issue with that. That seems like a pretty good deal to me. But guys with larger hands, maybe not so much. But yeah, absolutely terrific grip. The finish on the knife. Every single edge on this thing has been turned down, rounded. Let me close the knife up here real quick. I mean, you can see there, the bottom of that hole. Look how it's chamfered. Every edge has had time taken to make sure that there was no sharp edges. The only spot is maybe right here, and you have to find it. You really do. Other than that, this knife is so, in my opinion, it is so well executed and so well built. It's an absolutely terrific knife, guys. Blue loved it. He gave it a 9. He would have given it a 9.5 if we might have had a little bit of a different, you know, the whole situation there with the pocket clip and the jimping. I mean, if there's going to be jimping, let's have it be jimping. If not, then it's just decoration, but whatever. I think he's grading a little hard, but hey, that's his thoughts. So, you know, somebody asked me one time if I got to smack Blue down to keep him in line. No, I don't. He has free reign to give his opinion. Now, this is, you guys, I'm pretty much, I'm the budget knife type of guy. I have one, like, expensive knife. You know, I bought a Chris Reeves Sebenza. I have one, that's it. I have a really hard time justifying, you know, spending a lot of money on a knife. If it's, yes, and I'm not saying they're not worth it. It's not what I'm saying at all. It's just me and the way I was raised and my mindset and stuff. I just have a hard time doing it. It's just who I am. Guys, this knife retails for $189. And honestly, my first initial response when I looked at the price was like, that fits. Guys, I don't do that. I don't do that very often on knives that are, you know, cost that much. I don't do that very often, and I did it for this knife. Yeah, I really think it's probably, would it be nice if it was a little less? Well, of course. But, you know what, guys? I'm not arguing with it. I'm really not. This is an absolutely well-executed, well-built knife. And Kizer did an amazing job on it, in my opinion. A couple little nitpicks. That's just me, though. But overall, it's fantastic. So, and we have to thank Kizer once again for providing this to the Pass Around group. They just recently joined the Pass Around, and I think they've give us 3 or 4 knives. So glad to have them in the Pass Around group, of course. Kizer makes some really good knives. I'm a big fan of some of their Vanguard series, the budget line, the Kizer Vanguard Dukes. That made my top 10 EDC. I love that knife. It's fantastic. You know, and for $60-ish that it costs, it's phenomenal. It's a terrific knife. So, thanks again, Kizer, and thank all of you for spending some time with me today. Greatly appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed checking out the Odin with me. I know I did, checking it out with you guys. As always, guys, like, subscribe, leave me a comment. You know I love talking to y'all. Until next time, guys, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.